All right, hello. We're group four. I'm Kevin.
I'm Eric.
I'm Nathan.
I'm Alisa.
All right, for number one, kinematics is basically like involving time, space, or I mean, it describes time and space, and it involves position, velocity, and acceleration of a body. And connect is something different because it's like the study of the relationships between forces acting on the body and how those forces affect motion. Examples can be like friction, torque, or force. And that would be for number one.
Oh yeah, I think I got something similar like that too.
Same.
Okay, and then for number two, I said that there would be a positive acceleration towards the right because when the train stops, the velocity would decrease as well. And since the train is decelerating, the acceleration will be focused in the opposite direction of the train. But I'm not sure.
I would think the same.
It sounds about right to me.
Yeah, same. It's kind of like an example he did on the notes.
Okay, and for number three, describe a sport-specific or rehabilitation situation in which technique can be altered to manipulate impulse. My example would be in badminton. You can angle the racket, and depending on the angle of it, when hitting the birdie, you can either send it up, for example, when you're serving, or angle it down towards the opposing player and smash the birdie towards them, so it's harder for them to return.
That's a good example.
That's a really good example.
Also, I would say for baseball, it would be like on the technique of the swinger, like and how hard one would swing the bat. That would like change the force and velocity of the baseball.
Agreed.
Same. That's a good example too.
Thank you.
For tennis, kind of similar to what Nathan said. Depending how the person hits the ball with the racket, during the serve, either you can face the racket up or with the forehand or maybe backhand, just changing the direction of ball and different techniques one can use.
That's good. I got boxing just because there's obviously different punches you can throw, and the greater the impulse of force, like it'll change the momentum. So basically the harder you swing, the harder the other person's gonna feel it.
That's a really good example. I like it.
Me too.
So then number four, give an example of a piece of sporting equipment that uses the concept of impulses to protect the user. So for mine, like for boxing, you would use boxing gloves, which protects the person that is throwing the punch, not necessarily the person receiving.
And another example for number four could be like the helmets you wear in boxing as well. Or for like sparring gear to prevent all the force being transferred to the head. It would get
like prevent injuries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the helmet would absorb quite a bit of it.
Kind of like with the helmets too in football, like when they impact each other, like player on player, like the helmet kind of helps protect the players heads and stuff. Also
Same
with the pads
football
too.
pads, yeah.
Yeah, really important.
What's another example?
Tennis rackets.
Yeah, tennis racket and badminton rackets, kind of the same thing. Like, although like it's kind of limited to like them being protected by like with their reaction time, they can like maybe deflect the bar, like just holds it like close to like a certain body part and the ball's gonna hit the racket than the bodies.
Yep, agreed.
That's a good example.
Thanks. Yeah. I think
Yeah, I think we're good.
yeah. All right, cool.